Hi, my name's Leah. I typically show you how to make bread and deliciousness on this app, but actually, outside of that, and outside of working full time, I am a full time student learning about psychology, and I'm getting my second master's right now. And I really, really, really want to make the world a better place for future generations. Why? Because I had an eating disorder, and it took me a while to learn how to connect with food again. So one of the things that actually helped me was to read all these cool studies that people do to kind of find ways to make food and life better for people. So I thought I'd share some with you. Kicking it off with this study, cooking classes increase fruit and veggie intake for food safety behaviors in youth and adults because it's short, sweet, and pretty cool. The authors are right here in case you want to take a screenshot or if you want to follow up with them. But overall, the premise for this study was to say, hey, we feel like people don't eat enough fruit and veg. And we think it's because maybe they're not familiar with the vegetables and fruit, but maybe they're also worried about every time they see a news article that says foodborne illness or like there's some virus or bacteria or something horrible in your kale or your lettuce or whatever. So they developed some cooking classes that also helped people learn about food prep and hygiene. So to figure out whether or not these cooking classes would actually be effective, what they did is they asked over 600 people before the cooking lessons, hey, how do you feel about how much fruit and vegetable you eat and whether or not you eat new stuff or how do you prep it? And then with 602 people, 229 youth, average age of 12, and the remaining were adults with the average age of 57. They went through 2 months for 8 courses in 28 different counties in Oklahoma, and they taught them all this cool stuff. This picture is just a random picture, but I thought it looked delicious. So before and after the 8 courses, they asked the folks the same questions. They used the same survey, and then that allowed them to measure the impact of these classes. So the results are awesome. Here you can see the table that shows pre, which is before, and post, which is after for the youth and for the adults. And they broke it down by fruit and vegetables per day. And you can see that it almost doubled across the board, which is epic. And that's just from learning how to work with and understand more fruits and vegetables. Another cool thing is you can see right here, it says 67% of youth and 47% of adults reported preparing fruits or vegetables in a new way. That's a huge improvement, and that is just by showing people how to prep food and prep it in a way that doesn't make them sick. So massive kudos to the researchers. This is such a easy to understand study, but also such an important one that pretty much just says if you teach people how to work with foods and you show them different skills that they can use in many scenarios, they'll probably use them and they'll get more enjoyment out of it. So there's my first report. I hope to do many more because I'm going to be in school for a minute. But if you have questions or thoughts, feel free to drop them in. I just kind of want to talk about food.